Welcome to Accotink Unitarian Universalist Church live stream worship service. I am Reverend Alexa Fraser, and my pronouns are she and her. I am happy to be your pastoral care minister. Accotink UU Church is a welcome and inclusive community that seeks to create a more just and compassionate world through our actions to bring about justice and by honoring the web of nature of which we are all a part. All are welcome here in this justice-seeking, earth-healing community of faith. You are welcome no matter whom you love, no matter your identity or heritage, no matter your beliefs or background, no matter your means or abilities. You are welcome here in this religion which welcomes all. We also welcome the ancestors and descendants. We welcome the people who made each of us, the biological ancestors, spiritual ancestors, teachers, and guides. We welcome those who imagined and made our congregation possible. We welcome the ancestral people of this land and recall that our church, like all of Burke, rests on the unceded territory of the Manahoac tribe of the Great Sioux Nation. We seek healing with the people of this land whose bodies and spirits live on in their descendants, many of whom are members of the Monacan Indian Nation, the Potawatomi Indian Tribe of Virginia, and the Piscataway Indian Nation. We honor the ancestors as we move towards healing so that all the descendants together shall one day know full justice. With this, let us welcome the longings and hopes of all the descendants that we might help them live today.
If you're new to Accotink and would like to talk more about this church, please be sure to reach out to me, our minister, Reverend Pippin, or a member of the board. Contact information is posted on our website at www.accotinkuu.org. On our website, you can check the online order of service on the worship section of our webpage. While you're on the website, be sure to check our events page for upcoming virtual gatherings and other news. I now invite you to close your other windows or apps and devices, take a deep breath, and center yourself for worship.
Today's chalice lighting is by Reverend Dr. David Breeden. We tender this flame, opening the book, turning to a page yet to be written, opening a story yet to be told. May we fill this fresh page wisely. May we write a new story into being. May we together inscribe the page with hope.
Reverend Scott Taylor wrote our call to worship for today. Who dreamed you into being? What stories sat in their heart as they imagined what you would become? Who helped you imagine your story? Who helped you see your place in the story of the world? And what matters the most, who helped you understand that you could be the author of your own unfolding? All of which is a way of asking, who listened? Who listened until you could hear yourself speak, until you trusted the voice that is your own? And what about those stories of others, those kept in cramped spaces of silence for fear of how hard and narrow this world of ours can be? Who needs your listening so their story can be set free? Whose story needs to be held in your heart so it knows it is worth entering into the world? We say it is about listening, but really it's about love. It is through affection that our stories are born. They are wooed into this world. Never forget that. Amen.
As you may recall, story is our theme for the month. Kids and those who are young at heart, I wonder what resonates for you in this little story. Let's ignore the bear for now and focus on the journey part of the story.
Chum, 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 chum. We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh, grass, long wavy grass. We can't go over it, we can't go under it. Oh no, we got to go through it. Swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy. Chum, 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 chum. We're going on a bear hunt. We're gonna catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh, a river, a deep, cold river. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we got to go through it. Dive in. Splosh, splash, splosh, splash, splosh, splash. Chum, 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 chum. We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh. Mud. Thick, oozy mud. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we got to go through it. Squelch, squirch. Squelch, squirch. Chum, 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 chum. We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh, a forest, a big dark forest. We can't go over it, we can't go under it. Oh no, we got to go through it. Stumble, trip, stumble, trip, stumble, trip. Chum, 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 chum. Chum. We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh. A snowstorm. A swirling, whirling snowstorm. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we got to go through it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Chum, 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 chum. We're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh, a cave. A narrow, gloomy cave. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we got to go through it. Tip-toe, tip-toe, tip-toe. What's that? One shiny wet nose, two big furry ears, two big goggly eyes. It's a bear! Quick, back to the cave. Tiptoe, 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 back through the snowstorm. Ooh, 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 back through the forest. Stumble, trip, stumble, trip, back through the mud. Squelch, squelch. Back through the river, dive in. Splosh, splash, splosh, splash, splosh, splash. Back through the grass. Swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy. Down the road, up to our front door. Open the door, up the stairs. Dup, 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 dup. Oh no, we forgot to shut the door. Back downstairs. Dup, 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 dup. Shut that door. Boom, back up the stairs. Dup, 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 dup. Along the passage, into the bedroom, into bed, under the covers. We're not going on a bear hunt again. Chum, chum.
Hi, my name is Allie Mills, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. As Accotink's Director of Spiritual Development, I want to share with you something a little different and introduce you to something new for our summer programming for all ages. And it starts with this chalice. Have you ever really watched a candle burn? Have you ever really watched it? The fire is alive. Watch it. It moves, it flickers, it dances like the wind. It changes with every breath of air. Fire is alive. It's born, it grows, and it dies. But fire is special. It can live again and again. Fire has power. It can create and it can destroy and it can bring light. It can burn. Fire can be wonderful. It can be destructive. We have to be really careful with fire. Throughout history, people thought that fire was something sacred and holy, and some people even worshiped fire. No matter what they believed, people all over the world gave special place for fire in their religions. Its importance can be seen throughout history as people used fires in their homes to cook food and keep warm. And when you use gather, we light a chalice like this one. This is our sacred fire. The flame gives light and warmth, just like all fires. It's also a symbol, something we use to represent the light of learning. The chalice is a symbol too. We use it to hold the flame. The circle of the chalice helps keep the fire small. It gives us light so we can see all the different things in the universe, even the invisible ones, because the UU flame is also the light of learning. The chalice is also a symbol of love, which we invite everyone to be a part. Today, I'd like to introduce you to our AUUC traveling chalice. Each week, a family, not just those with children, will be able to take home the traveling chalice, this one right here, which will be held inside of our traveling chalice box. The purpose of our traveling chalice program is to deepen our understanding with one of our most familiar UU symbols. The light of the chalice connects us all together and is a sacred element of our beloved community. The chalice may also be used as a symbol of hope when one is feeling or experiencing a sense of darkness. You will learn about its history and how it brings people together through learning and love. At the end of the week, you can bring the box and all of its contents to the next family's house. Starting next week, the Tuggle family will take the chalice home with them. Each family who's a part of our church will get to enjoy the light of learning and love in your home. Each week, the chalice will travel from home to home, where you'll continue sharing the story of the chalice's journey. In the box, it's going to contain several things, one being this handmade chalice, a battery-operated candle, as well as a wax candle, a pen with a journal, some chalice lighting readings, and this book, A Cup of Light, as well as maybe a few other things. You might want to use the chalice during your meals, your family meetings, or even as a bedtime ritual. So you can choose a reading from some of the materials that I'm going to provide to you, or you can make up one of your own. I'd love for you to take a picture of your chalice and post it on our community Facebook page and let us know where it is. Is it on your dining room table, your mantle, maybe your bedside table? And then in the journal provided, if you can record your experiences. So how did the challenge enrich your lives? In what ways did you use it? And you can also add your own reading to the journal to share with others, and they can take that home with them. I hope you'll take part in our Traveling Chalice program and take part in the shared story of our traveling chalice. As the chalice travels from family to family, its story will grow. So look for the Google sign-up sheet in Accotink this week. Now we turn our attention to a message about our memorial garden.
What a lot going on today. We are going to double back and explain why that bear hunt was an important part of our story today. I hope that you really do enjoy this Traveling Chalice program. I think that sounds so great. In fact, in the chat right now is a link to the Traveling Chalice sign up. This reminds me of some very, very fond memories from when my son was young and our home congregation did something similar. So do take advantage of it and then share your pictures. Sounds great. Moving on to the memorial garden. When I came to your congregation as the pastoral care minister, I was impressed with your ministries to support members in times of loss and grief. You are fortunate to have the Accotink memorials as part of those ministries. Indeed, when I was first coming to you, Reverend Pippin suggested I look at the pictures of your memorial gardens online, and they delighted me. So the Memorial Garden Ministry relies solely on donations to the AUUC Memorial Fund to support its ongoing maintenance of the meditation and memorial garden. On this Memorial Day, we hope that you will be generous. Instructions on how to donate are on the slide, and please do give generously because it's a beautiful place and a beautiful service. Let me start by giving credit for this book selection for this service to Reverend Keith Cron. He is one of our wonderful UUA staffers who helps congregations find a new minister in times of transition. And I know that he was helpful in helping you find your new minister, as Reverend Pippin has had to take care of her family and make different choices. Reverend Keith is the most passionate lover of kids' literature I know. He has thousands of books in his personal collection, and he's always ready to use a book which is purportedly for children as a sacred text or inspirational reading. He led a worship service for interim ministers, which is what I am, using the Capybara book and the book that I'll be sharing later named The Green Umbrella. I love both of them and wanted to weave them into my own service for you today. So earlier, we heard the song, The Bear Hunt. As you may have noticed, there was a phrase that you kind of couldn't escape as you were listening to it. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. We can't go around it. Oh no, we'll have to go through it. It repeats and repeats. The story is different in different tellings, but we had swishy grass, we get to a river, mud puddle, finally a cave. Again and again, the kids have to go through the thing that is scary, dirty, cold, or threatening. Again and again, they just have to go through it. Honestly, this sounds so much like the last year to me. We didn't want to stay closed up in our homes. We didn't want to wear masks. We didn't want to interact with family or friends or fellow congregants only through Zoom. But you know, we can't go over it. We can't go under it. We can't go around it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. You've got to go through it. I don't know what you feel you've had to go through. Each of you will have a different answer for that. And I don't know what you foresee having to go through over the next months. But I'm going to call for a moment of silence for you to reflect on those questions and whisper to yourself what the thing is, the thing you can't go over, under, or around, the thing that you have to go through. So if you are able, I'm going to ask you to whisper yourself, oh, here we go. Sorry, I got myself ahead. And then the part of the story which asks again and again, are you afraid? And the kids say no, but you know they are. And honestly, I've been afraid, and I bet you have too. Afraid for the elders in my life, afraid for dear congregants who have either gotten COVID or had near misses, afraid for my grandkids who are too young to be vaccinated, afraid for those who are choosing not to be vaccinated, and for those who can't tolerate a vaccination or for whom it will not work. I've been afraid, and I wonder if you too have been afraid. Again, if you are able, I'm going to ask you to whisper to yourself the thing of which you are afraid. Of course, the outward journey the kids take is followed by a sharp U-turn after they find the bear and admit that they are scared and that they better get home as fast as possible and close that darn door. Suddenly, the arduous aspects of the outward journey are replayed in reverse, and they sure seem easier, or at least faster. The mud is not so muddy, the cold river is not so cold. But here is the thing, friends. We can't and won't return to the home we left behind. Like Dorothy or Odysseus, when we get home, things will have changed. We will change them. You will change them. And now, another story.
Capybaras are animals that live in South America. They weigh about 40 pounds, and you can think of them as a very large guinea pig. They can get bigger than many dogs. This story is about an unlikely friendship that develops between some capybaras and some chickens who live in a chicken coop. The Capybaras by Alfred Sodergilt, translated by Elisa Amado. That was a safe, agreeable place. Life was comfortable and everyone knew what she was supposed to do. There was plenty of food and nothing out of the ordinary ever happened. Until one day, the capybaras came. No one knew them. No one expected them. There were lots of them. They were hairy, they were wet, and they were too big. No, there was no room for them. But the capybaras couldn't go home because hunting season had begun. To be allowed to stay, the capybaras had to accept some rules. Number 1, don't make any noise. Number 2, don't come out of the water. Number 3, don't come near the food. And number 4, don't question the rules. The rules were for everyone. No one had permission to go near the capybaras. They were wild animals. And they might be dangerous. Then everything changed. The days changed. And so did the nights. Hunting season ended. The capybaras expressed their gratitude for being given refuge and got ready to leave. That year's hunt hadn't gone well. The hunters returned empty-handed. The chicken coop was empty too. No one ever knew what had happened.
Thank you. That's charming, Sheila. It was just charming. And now, as a commentator, I'd like to pull your attention to 2 things. Did you notice that all wasn't well in the hen house? The chickens felt like all is well, but back here, the text says something pretty warm and friendly, and Sheila certainly read it right. But the farmer is taking off a chicken for the cooking pot. The text says there was plenty of food, nothing out of the ordinary ever happened. Wow, so much for the chicken coop being a safe place. And then there is the welcome that the chickens gave the capybaras. We have to talk about that. The chickens don't want the capybaras. They are noisy, wet, dirty, and big. And only after the capybara has saved a baby chick do the chickens even agree to have the capybaras in their space. But the chickens list a bunch of rules the capybaras will need to live by if they are to be in the hen coop. 1, don't make any noise. 2, don't come out of the water. 3, don't come near the food. 4, don't question the rules. Now I digress, and in some ways this is about my church experience, and you're going to have to figure out if any of it relates to this congregation and its history and present. I was recently at a multi-faith conference called the Revolutionary Love Conference. I can't recommend it enough. Some of you may have heard me talk about it before and know how much I love this once-a-year dive into a beloved community where the faiths are all working together to create a love revolution. So many people come together to create a beloved community that we dream of, a world of radical acceptance where justice rains down like waters. Let me tell you what a delight it is to attend the Revolutionary Love Conference. There are Jews and Sikhs and Muslims and tons of Christians. And many of them are justice makers who are inhabiting a faith, a particular geography in their faith, where their sexuality, their gender, their life story, or all of the above make them unwelcome. It is wrenching to hear, to see, to know how unwelcome people can be made to feel in their faith homes. So here I am sitting in my living room watching Revolutionary Love and Zoom, like we all do. And I knew that there were about 25 members of my home congregation, the place that I've been a member for over 20 years. There were about 25 members of my home congregation also in their homes watching. People were putting comments into the chat the way that they do. And every once in a while, I'd see a friend's name as the poster of some comment in the chat. And here is what a friend from my home congregation posted in the chat during one of those moments when someone was sharing how hard it was to be a person with their gender or sexuality or other identity in their faith tradition. She wrote, you friends, why aren't we welcoming these Christian folks into our fold? Why don't they know they are welcome with us just as they are? Can't we welcome them in all of their identities, including their Christian identity? Honestly, it stopped me cold. Some of you know that I was wounded by my Christian upbringing. At some level, I was shocked to be called out as unwelcoming, and I was equally shocked by the idea of you use welcoming. Let me say it, everyone. I'd heard it said that we were welcoming, but only up to a point. A Black UU friend named Charles shared this story with the 8th Principle Learning Community on Facebook. And of course, he gave me permission to share his words. My first time going to a UU church, the pastor used the word God and a reference to the Bible. I thought it was a refreshing service and that it made some good points. At the end of the service, a man apologized to me and assured me that most services were not like that. Another time, our pastor asked our choir to change the words of a Black spiritual to eliminate references to God so as not to alienate the atheists. This is the same church that embraces Hinduism, paganism, and Wicca. I think it feels risky to speak of God because white dominant society values support linear Black and white thinking. To invoke God invites criticism in a lot of UU circles. I'd heard folks say that we UUs are welcoming in all ways except to God, or others say except to Christians. How many times have I been in a UU meeting where somebody introduces themselves as a former, name the type of Christian, and they are so warmly welcomed it is almost disrespectful of anybody who actually does believe in Christianity. Back to my friend's post during Revolutionary Love, why hadn't I opened my eyes and heart to the possibility that some Christian visitors have come and not felt welcome in my home congregation? I've since spoken with some of the very few Christian identified folks in my home congregation, one of whom is Charles, and all of whom are Black, by the way. And I've come to see that we welcome pretty much everyone but followers of a man who I call Yeshua, which is the name that Jesus's mother called him. Maybe in our denomination or even here, I don't know, I've only been with you for a short time. The folks who don't feel welcome are gospel singers, the ones who make noise. Or is it those who want to christen their kids, the ones who bring water, or someone else who questions the rules of Unitarian Universalism and of my home congregation and maybe even of this congregation? I don't know what rules some of our guests feel that they are breaking and thus feel unwelcome because of, but I know my heart was opened by my friend's 3-sentence post on that chat board asking who we didn't welcome and who would love to be with us based on our values, spirituality, and more. But they would need to be deeply welcomed by us. How would it change us to grow to welcome people who feel pretty different from us? So again, I ask you to pause and take a minute to name privately to yourself some group that may not feel so welcome here. Differently abled folks, Christians, Jews, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if you do.
Today, I want to share a story with you called The Green Umbrella, a story by Jackie Azua Kramer with pictures by Meryl Susani. The Green Umbrella. One rainy day, an elephant was taking a walk with his green umbrella. Along came a hedgehog. "Excuse me," said the hedgehog, "I believe you have my boat." "Your what?" asked the elephant. "I crossed deep oceans on my boat and faced the crash of icy waves. I saw dolphins leap 2 by 2 and tasted the salty spray of whales. The stars were my guide and my boat a faithful friend," said the hedgehog. "I'm sure you're mistaken," replied the elephant. "This isn't your boat. It's my umbrella. However, you're welcome to share it and stay dry." Along came a cat. "Excuse me," said the cat. "I believe you have my tent." "Your what?" asked the elephant and the hedgehog. "I studied plants and flowers in wooded forests. In the evenings, among hanging vines and giant leaves, I'd camp under my trusty tent and enjoy a cup of tea," said the cat. "I'm sure you're mistaken," replied the elephant. "This isn't your tent. It's my umbrella. However, you're welcome to share it and stay dry." Along came a bear. "Excuse me," said the bear. "I believe you have my flying machine." "Your what?" asked the elephant and the hedgehog and the cat. "I flew through windy skies in my flying machine. I soared through clouds high up in the air and saw northern lights glimmer above rolling hills. I floated on wings free and far from the noise of busy towns below," said the bear. "I'm sure you're mistaken," replied the elephant. "This isn't your flying machine or your tent or your boat. When I was a child, I imagined I was a pirate and my umbrella was my sword. I was a circus acrobat and my umbrella was the balancing pole. I was a home run hitter and my umbrella was my bat." The rain stopped and the sun came out. "I'll be on my way," said the elephant, closing his umbrella tight. "Goodbye." "I need my boat," squealed the hedgehog. "I need my tent," cried the cat. "I need my flying machine," growled the bear. Along came an old rabbit. "Excuse me," said the old rabbit. "I believe you have my cane." "Your what?" asked the elephant, the hedgehog, the cat, and the bear. "I climbed hundreds of stairs to the tops of desert pyramids. I hiked tall mountains to reach moss-covered ruins with the help of my sturdy cane. In a maze of dark caves, sure in my steps over stony trails, I discovered ancient treasures," said the old rabbit. "I'm sure you're mistaken," sighed the elephant. "This isn't your cane. It's my umbrella, which has sheltered me from the rain and the sun." The elephant noticed the old rabbit wiping his brow from the sun's heat. "However, you're welcome to share it and stay cool," offered the elephant, opening his umbrella. "That would be nice," smiled the rabbit. "I can make us all a nice cup of tea," suggested the cat. "Sounds wonderful," agreed Hedgehog and the bear. So in the shade of the green umbrella, the elephant, the hedgehog, the cat, and the bear and the old rabbit shared their stories, drank tea, planned adventures, and became fast friends. Together, they went sailing, camping, flying, hiking, and when it rained, they stayed dry under the green umbrella.
Again, how charming. I see this as a story about creativity. No, it's not for rain that it's a boat, a tent, a flying machine. No, it's a sword or not, a bat or a cane. It was an elephant's umbrella, or as they say in Spanish, el paraguas, the thing for water. I love the jumble of possibilities the green umbrella presents. And of course, here, the welcome is solid. There are no rules. The elephant, hedgehog, cat, bear, and rabbit enjoyed tea and togetherness. They told stories. They had different visions. They planned their future together, and they became fast friends. They figured out new uses for the green umbrella. They delighted in their differences and creativity. As the last page of the book says, together they went sailing, camping, flying, hiking, and when it rained, they stayed dry under the green umbrella. So today we've shared 3 journeys, each with its own lesson. The bear hunt, which, as is the case with most literary journeys and probably most life journeys as well, changes those who undertook the trip indelibly. The kids on this trip learned that there is much in life that you can't go over, can't go under, or go around. There's so much one just has to go through as best as one can, learning along the way. Knowing you will be changed like Dorothy as she returns to Kansas, forever changed by going through it. Our capybaras and chickens taught us about welcome. Did those chickens know they were being awful hosts to those capybaras? The chickens certainly didn't foresee that the capybaras would literally save their lives. There's something to learn here too, whose life can be saved by offering a warm welcome. Maybe our own. And last, our green umbrella, the verde paraguas. What creativity and life came from the sharing of stories and lives through the vehicle of a green umbrella. So might it be creativity and stories and growth about sharing. And so I ask you the last question I will invite you to answer quietly to yourself today. What creativity, innovation, or radical welcome can you personally offer to this church and its visitors? Please say that to yourself. The common theme is, of course, change. The journey changed the kids in the bear story. The collaboration and ultimate relationship between the chickens and the capybaras changed at least the chickens, and maybe the capybaras too. And the creativity and energy around the green umbrella changed all the friends, and in fact, made them friends. Blessed be, Ashe and Amen. And now our extinguishing the chalice. Though we will extinguish our chalice flame, we carry within us what we kindled, the light of inspiration, warmth of compassion, the fire of commitment. May we bring these gifts into our lives and share them radiantly out in the world.
I invite you now to join me in our community blessing with these words of David Bumbaugh. This church is dedicated to the proposition that behind all our differences and beneath all our diversity, there is a unity that makes us one and binds us forever together in spite of time, death, and the space between the stars. We pause now in silent witness to that unity.
May you know the blessing you already are. May you sense the blessing you yet can be. May we all go out into the world and be a blessing in it.